So here's the way sinuses work, and it's a little bit, it's like the platypus. It's almost like somebody messed up on the blueprint or something, because our sinuses they're valves, and the way they work is, most valves flow this way. They open, like water goes through and they naturally stay open. Sinuses are flipped. So if they get crammed shut, then it's really difficult to remove the pressure back here. It's like they lock shut. It's like a, it's like, how many people have seen Time Bandits? Any geeks here? Yeah, so Time Bandits where they're, all the little guys are wandering around with the plans to all of creation, and God's after them and the devil's after them looking for the plans with all the cracks in creation. Well, it's like somebody messed up the blueprints on sinuses. So the challenge is that once those sinuses get locked shut, it is extremely difficult. Like I did all sorts of water and dry fasting, which I wouldn't recommend either one unless you're way far along your health. Dry fasting especially is really harsh, but I did all sorts of water and dry fasting. I never could get my sinuses to where they were really open. Here's what I did though. I went and saw a guy that does NCR therapy. How many people, anybody here done that before? NCR therapy. Ooh, it is a party. It's less intense than having a baby and much shorter. A little less intense. It's what they do is they take the blood pressure pumps that you pump up your blood pressure, and they take a finger cuff, which is what the docs check prostates for. It's like it's a little balloon. They put on into the blood pressure bulb, wrap it with dental floss, snake it up your sinus, and so it adjusts your whole sinus passages. And typically they'll do it. The guy I used to go to would do it 3 times on a side, and I got up to I think 5 balloons. He would stack 5 balloons, and so the pressure was intense. And so I do it to myself now. Typically when I go up in a plane, the first thing I do when I get down, it's fun. See, you can always tell the people that are going to benefit from that because they go, oh my God. So if you had
broken their nose and know what it's like to have something up there, ow.
And so what happens is if you adjust that, it's simply opening, it's manually cranking open the valves. So here's the challenge though, is that when those valves shut like that, they'll actually build a secondary skeletal system, which is why they'll never drain. You couldn't get those puppies to drain. There's just no way. It's impossible. And so what happens is the first few times that NCR therapy is done, like the first time I had it done, I felt like I'd had, like some sort of epiphany or something. What happened was I had a secondary bone system built up in my sinuses, and when he inflated that first balloon, I thought I was going to pass out. I went everything went black, stars, and the stuff that came out of my head you would not even believe. Blood and bone and dark green and yellow. I mean, I had some serious pent-up infections. So basically I had these huge infections that were raging infections inside my sinuses that were just trapped. It was just this massive breeding ground. Yeah, it's a balloon. Yeah, you take a toothpick and you snake a balloon up your sinuses.
Oh,
Yeah. Usually just when I go up in a plane, because when you go up in a plane, the altitude changes how the fluid flow is. And I don't do that so much anymore. I used to do it every day.
Initially, how often did you get up?
Oh, initially I went 2 to 3 times a month for 2 or 3 years, and then once every 6 months or so until I finally could get to where I could do it myself, which is no small feat. In fact, he said that I was one of the very few people that ever learned to do it myself. And now I go back about maybe once every 3 or 4 years. But the first time I took a breath, it was miraculous, because when I took my breath, I could feel air all the way up to my scalp and all the way around my cheeks. It was because our sinuses actually go all through our forehead.
They do, I know.
So when you breathe, you should be able to feel air all the way out to the entire periphery of your face.